What's going on YouTube? It's my man here, Dennis from Zeki's Reef, coming at you with an update. And the tank's a little bit cold this morning. It's around 24.5 degrees, so I think I'd come here with a heat check for you. And as you can see, got Flashy, Carpenter, Woody. I don't know what name I'm going to give it, but he's doing pretty good. The Flasher Wrasse just flaring about there, which is pretty cool. And the new addition, the Flameback Angel, which I called Fenner, I've chucked her into the tank as well now after doing a tank transfer method. And so far, it's been good. So can't complain. Had her in an acclimation box. She had a little bit of a squabble with the Carpenter and also McLean, the Tang, but she settled in, which is awesome. But yeah, look, let's get into this heat check, and I'll be back in a moment with the heat on my feet. So here they are. Here's the heat on my feet. I've got the Flint Air Jordan 6s, nice and comfortable. I've always been a Jordan 5 guy myself, but had a couple of pair of 7s and 6s, and they do look good. They're a really good silhouette. You can wear them with jeans. They're comfortable to wear the whole day. We'll be getting some more heat later today, which I'll show in my next heat check, which will be probably a little bit more frequent now, a couple of months' time. We'll see how we go, maybe a month's time. So, yeah, there you go. That's the heat on my feet. Nothing too crazy. Pretty comfortable. Look cool. I normally rock them with some black jeans or blue jeans, depending on whether I want to go a bit understated with it. But yeah, you know, they're fire. They're fire. All right, under the sump and equipment-wise, things are going pretty good. I started dosing cold cluster in the tank. But a bit of my dosing pump, basically just one of the, I guess I can say one of the seals is busted, so it's drawing air from that line. So dosing line 4 has been taken offline at the moment, and what I'll be doing is actually replacing that later today, and hopefully it'll hold a seal so that way it doesn't draw air into the line. But the cold cluster will go in another line, which will be the previous calcium line, because I'm solely dosing cold cluster at the moment. I just want to see how it goes with the pH and then start dosing alkalinity afterwards. Other key update, I finally tidied my cables, or at least quasi-tidied my cables. So as you can see, pretty straightforward, just a little cabinet I got from IKEA. Real basic, and you can see the cables tucked in underneath there. I've also got my testing equipment here as well, and I can probably put food in there too, like excess food, which is good, and it'll help me keep the stand itself, the cabinet and the stand, clear, which I can't complain about. So let's see how we go. Let's see if I'm happy with the setup. I'll do the other side too. Onto the corals. This taut piece, I think it's a taut piece, pretty sure it's a taut piece, doing great. You can see the colors on it, it's really vivid. It's starting to grow out, so I'm loving it, and I'm looking forward to seeing it grow out in the tank. It has grown a little bit from when I chucked it in, only a tiny amount, but I can tell because on the other side there are a little bit of a growth, like a whitening of tip that you'll see with a little bit of growth, which is pretty interesting and cool. So yeah, it's going good. The Millie's doing good. As you can see, it's starting to develop its rainbowiness at the moment. It's going green for the time being, but it's probably because there's a little bit more nutrient in there than I normally keep Rainbow Millie in. So I'll just keep it the water changes, doing my do, and putting in some trace elements here and there to get it back up to that rainbow level, which is going to be awesome. This brownish stag that I chucked in a while ago that came from my friend's tank, starting to color up. You can see the green coral lights in there. So it has grown, it's encrusted. I'd be interested to see what happens with this piece as time goes by, but it's doing well, and it's quite hardy. And it's hard to see, but it has based out on that rock there. So I'm probably gonna have to cut it in a month or so's time, which I'm not looking forward to, but hey, who cares? Let's do it. Any growth's good growth, right? The blue-green tenuous, doing good. Again, same sort of realm of things. Pulps are out, it's at the play. It's going a bit tealy, and I'm really loving that color. So I'm hoping it stays like this or goes back to a blue if it does. Either way, it's just good to have tenuous. I've never really had much luck with tenuous, so this is going good, so I can't complain. Salmon Tosa, that's doing great. You can see the mintiness starting to strew through, especially on the small frag plug piece as well. So I'm really interested to see how that colors up over time and how it grows out. It's going to be a pain to cut because salmon toast is normally quite thick and dense with the skeleton, but look, I don't really plan on trimming my corals all that much unless I actually have to. This isn't a working tank for me. I'm not fragging things out of here to sell. Probably just be to give back to the community. So yeah, look, it's doing good. This little piece is doing really good as well. It's starting to color up in here, so it's got a little bit of purpley pinkish tips starting to form with a green base, whereas when I chucked it in initially it was largely grey. So that's good, can't complain about that. And same thing really, like this is really going to sound unoriginal, but looking forward to seeing it grow. It has a lot of the textures that I like with Acropora, so it'll be interesting to see how it matures. Little peachy salmon toast is starting to develop its colour back. It did brown for a little bit, as frags normally do when you chuck them into the system, but it's encrusted on the glue pad, I guess you can say, and I'm waiting for it to encrust some more before it starts to take off. And same thing, I'd like to see how it goes as it gets higher up and grows up, because I think it will grow up and out and then start plating out. And I might explore trimming it at that point and moving it elsewhere. This piece wasn't doing too well before. It's starting to pull through now. You can see the green forming at the back of it. It still has a bit of healing to do over the bits that I clipped back, but it's doing well. Much better than I thought it would be. I took it out, trimmed it back, rebased it in there as well, so I'm waiting to see how it goes as far as encrusting is concerned. Blue digis, they're bulletproof. Like, what more can I say? So this little piece here on the frag plug, I chucked it on a rock and wedged it in the rock form where there's another piece further up, and it's done well enough. It's grown out a little bit. I'm waiting for it to truly take off, which will take a few months. Just when this tank matures, it will take off. I know that because I've had it before. This is the original, actually, I don't even think this is the original frag plug. This was a nub that I kept on the frag rack, and it grew out to base out on it. And now it's here. So what do you know? Salmon Tosa, again, same thing. That was a tiny nub. I gave the other piece to one of my friends. It's growing quite well in his system. This has started encrusting out quite well. So same thing. It's doing good. I think it was really just lighting. It was getting smashed by light before and it wasn't too happy. This is like hidden under a bit of a shady outcrop, and it's taking off. I'll put an acro above it and see how it goes. This fuzzy piece is doing pretty good. The polyps are out a lot more than this. I think they retracted a little bit purely because the temperature dropped a bit. We had a fairly cold night here in Canberra, so yeah, look, he's chilling. I'm waiting for it to start encrusting as well. My friend did shave that with a diamond saw, so I've always found that those sorts of frags take a little bit longer to encrust. And this blue stag, I tried the blue stag again. It's actually sitting at the bottom of my friend's coral tray after he had not so much a power outage, but he had to move all the lighting away and all the equipment away because the roofing in his shop had leaked and got waterlogged and collapsed. So it wasn't very happy. It was thin, wispy little piece, and I chucked it in here. It's thickened up and it's encrusting. And this is just another piece of the blue digi that I chucked on the rock, which I'm starting to regret because it's starting to grow. I didn't realize it was growing that much. This is a side-on view of the tank. You see the flash is doing its thing. And yeah, look, I didn't expect it to be a bit of a wall of rock, but I can't complain. It's got that bombing effect. And I don't envision changing the rock work. I'm pretty happy with it. So, wrapping up, you can see, got a bit of a fish shot here with the flame back, Fenner and McLean. Here, tank's doing good. I'm replacing that Tunzi algae scraper. I've actually ordered a flipper float, so I'm looking forward to chucking that on the tank and not having to fish my hand in there and grab that stupid Tunzi out. Tunzi's are great scrapers. They're awesome. It's just that's long in the tooth, and whenever it falls off, the blade attachments pop off the actual magnet, and it's just, you spend too much time with your hand in the water for my liking. So I'll be changing that up. Beyond that there, I figured I'd finish with a few shots of the fish as they swim around, and then the fish tank. Guys, you've seen my reef tank. Keep it easy, stay safe, and I'll see you later. Peace.